Welcome to the Blue Collar Boys podcast with your co-host DJ and your other co-host.
Elias.
Excellent. All right. This is going to be a true crime related podcast. All right. And our today's story is going to be about who, Elias?
It's going to be about Elisa Lam. She was a 21-year-old young adult. She is the daughter of immigrants from Hong Kong, and she was born on April 30th, 1991, which would have made her
It would have made her like 31.
about 31. It was reported Elisa and her sister were very close. Their main thing that brought them together was fashion, which you can see on a lot of her Tumblr posts. Some would call her parents a little controlling due to the fact her parents wouldn't let her travel the world, which I believe was one of her goals before getting a job. Elisa's current traveling destination was Los Angeles. Her parents would only allow her to travel there only if she called them every day, which could be seen normal.
Yeah, I don't really see that as like that controlling. Like,
exactly.
Especially, actually, because her parents would have known that like she had like mental problems.
Mm-hmm. So
Spoilers,
I feel like
but
they're just trying to keep their daughter safe. In my opinion, they're already
like they're immigrants from Hong Kong, and they're like already letting her off the leash going to LA.
Exactly, they're already curious about the world or country they're in now. Why would they want her going off the leash far away?
They're in Canada, and they're already letting her go to LA.
Exactly. Which that would now bring us to her stay at the Cecil Hotel.
Okay, so at the Cecil Hotel, do you remember how long she was supposed to stay there?
I believe it was only like a couple of days to a week or so.
Oh, okay. So yeah, she was only supposed to stay for like a week or so. But she was there for like a day or a few days, and like she was already acting weird. But like on Tumblr, some people, based on her Tumblr posts, some people believe that in the end she committed suicide. Because one of her posts stated, quote, "I wish I could put part of my brain into a taped shut box and shove it into the back of my closet for the night." Unquote. Others believe that despite the coroner stating otherwise that she was murdered, people find this like probable because there was a lot of weird like happenings surrounding her death.
Real quick on the suicide thing. With nowadays, everyone says stuff they don't mean on social media.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I think again we could take that with a grain of salt, or if not, because that is a suicidal threat. You know, what I mean, that's a threat towards your life.
Well, I mean, I don't know.
But
It's a stretch.
Exactly. You don't know how she's feeling in the time. You don't know what prompted her to say that. She couldn't. You don't know if she was at the hotel when
that could have just been like a little like anecdote.
Exactly. She could have even been on her meds or something. You know what I mean?
She could have been fine. Really that could have just been something. Well, I mean, but she was still like in a bad state of mind. But yeah. Oh yeah. People were like saying that she might have been murdered because like there's just a lot of like weird like happenings surrounding her death. Like, for example, whenever there was this CCTV like footage in the hotel, in from the elevator where she's acting really frantic and she's just acting like really weird. And there was like a minute or something I think cut out.
Removed video footage.
Yeah, from the like footage. So that kind of contributes to like because some people think that she might have been like followed or like chased by someone. So like that's why people think that like that's like the main reason why people think that she was murdered. Well, like that and like she was making like a lot of weird facial expressions and like surrounding like her roommates. Her roommates were talking about how she was acting weird. How she had to get moved to another room.
To the private room. Mm-hmm. I remember that because of her outbursts and her mood swings.
Yeah, because she was off her meds for a little bit, so she was like starting to probably like break down a little bit. And then her roommates like were worried about her, I guess. So they complained up to the hotel staff and got her into another room by herself. But like Elias, what do you think? Actually, what is your theory on what happened?
My personal theory which it goes with what you were saying earlier. Some people thought she was being followed, which I believe she was being followed through and through. It's just the body language doesn't add up. You don't click multiple different buttons. You don't continuously spam for the elevator button to shut unless you're worried about something getting to you before it shuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And on top of that, they removed a minute of footage, which who walks that slow?
Oh yeah. They
For an
removed a
entire
minute of
minute.
footage because
Like,
so it was
on.
for someone's like privacy or something.
I can even see if it was an elderly person.
But even if there's like 20 people that walked by that door, it would
all
be
one motion.
that would not
30
be
I'd say
30
30 to 40
seconds.
seconds. You still see some bit of that. You
Yeah,
know what I
one
mean?
per like that could have been someone like just like no one walks by like that for that long.
Exactly, unless there was intent, like you have, like I'm going into that elevator or I'm continuously walking by.
Yeah.
So if they're going into that elevator, I think they might have cut it off for those reasons. What do you believe happened?
I mean, it's kind of like complicated just because of the nature of it. Like I was saying before, like it's really complicated and weird. It was just weird because like for example, but in the end, she was found dead in a water tank. One of the water was it like a filtering tank, or was it just like a water container?
I believe it was water. It was filter and containment because I know it affected the water pressure. And all that other stuff.
So yeah,
it
she
had to
was
just run through the whole water system.
found dead in like a water tank that was made of like heavy metal. It was like so like it was weird because she had to like the opening to get into that tank that she died in was too small for anyone to get in by themselves. Just like everything like that. As it was so weird that they had to literally cut a hole out of the door or out of the tank and drain it completely before they could take her out.
She was bloated at that time.
Yeah, and she was bloated. Yeah, she was out for 2 weeks. So it's it's possible that it was a suicide, but I feel
not
like
very likely.
Yeah, someone probably put her in there.
It states that she went missing on the 31st in 2013, and her body was found. Oh my bad, January 31st in 2013, and her body was found on February 19th in 2013.
So that's like almost 20 days.
Yeah, about 18, roughly 20. Which that means for those 20 days, those families and those people staying in residence general, even staff members that wanted a quick drink, were drinking Elisa Lam. That's awful.
They were drinking Elisa Lam.
Yes, people complained about their water pressure for it said for weeks on end. There's multiple complaints. There's even people checking out at that point. So they complained about the water pressure. They complained about the coloration of the water, and they also complained about a smell.
Smell.
Like
there was a smell.
That's ridiculous.
Like people were just drinking Elisa Lam. That is like disgusting.
I don't know how people even cope with that at that point.
Yeah, after you find that out.
Yeah, you that's disgusting. That's plenty of people who were using that water to either shower, wash their kids.
Yeah, and then they were making coffee with that was in the food that they were making.
That's genuinely awful. Once she was found in the water tank, after 2 weeks, and it was due to residents complaining about discoloration, weird tastes, and low pressure. There was no evidence of her being forced into the tank, and Elisa had bipolar depression. When she was off her medication, she would hallucinate and often show disruptive behavior, which was the reason she got moved up to that singular room, which we stated earlier, because her friend's statements where she went off her medication, that's where things went apparently abrupt, and she needed her own personal room. There was not enough evidence that this was a murder, so it was ruled as an accidental drowning, which we've talked about this multiple times. What's accidental about that?
I don't think there's anything accidental.
Well, first of all, the Cecil Hotel has to be somewhat at blame. You walk up a fire escape, and then that's the only part without. She went through the only part without security.
Yeah,
there's no way to kill herself. Here, what medication was she taking?
Real quick. She was. I'm gonna butcher these, but she was taking Wellbutrin, Lamgotrine, Quetiapine, Dextrine, Samspul, and Venlaxapine. All of these were antidepressants. So she had a bunch of like meds that she had to take. So it was just like there was a lot